Salvona is in action for about 21 years. My background is coming from industry and academia. I started this company about 21 years ago, and the major things, the major strategy we had was always to come up with new technologies and patent them. We have two principles in all our work. The major principle for us was always that we can provide proprietary technologies, in other words, technologies that we can patent and we own, and that's the only technologies that we produce right now. So people very much dependent on our capability to manufacture it and to provide them. We provide technologies that are made out of safe ingredients, typically natural, from sustainable sources, for a very simple reason, because we are actually doing them ourselves. We do them next to our home, and we don't want to contaminate not our body, not our soil, and not the water, and not the air. So we're using only water-based materials. Everything has to be biodegradable, and of course, everything is patented by us. And that's what makes our product unique. We don't use technologies that are commonly available in the marketplace. The technologies that we have different names, and here I'm showing you in this slide. We have a platform that's called SalSphere, another one that's called Multisal, another one Hydrosal, Microsal, Sal Color, and so on. These are platforms, and we can incorporate a variety of functional ingredients into each one, and we use these technologies as a toolbox, which means for every issue, we have a way to solve it using the technology platforms. So this is the essence of our business. We are a technology-based company. We're based in central New Jersey, about an hour north from Philadelphia and an hour south from New York City, Manhattan. So this is our location, and we're all about proprietary technologies, and I'm sure you will find interest in this because this gives you a proprietary position as well. And this is how you can better compete with many other companies. So this was the introduction. Now let's move into the agenda. The goal of this presentation, what I'm trying to do here is show you how to formulate. So at the end of this, you will know how to formulate very unique exfoliating, rejuvenating product that you can make today because they are so easy to do. So we'll talk a little bit about skin exfoliation. What does it do? Why do you need to exfoliate? Many people are not aware, but this is the easiest way to look great, to recover the face, to look rejuvenated and younger looking. This is the simplest and the cheapest thing that you can do. That's why we always use this as a first webinar to people that are not familiar with our technologies. So one doesn't have to buy the most expensive retinol or peptide and so on. The basic is SalSphere Even Skin. This is the basic technology that will help you rejuvenate your skin, and you get into the whole business of better, nicer looking skin. So what is the problem that you're trying to address? Let's start to understand the problem, and then we'll give a solution. For example, look at this lady face. You can see uneven skin, patches of oil and dry. How do you know it's oil? Because it shines. So whenever you see a shiny face, you know there is excess of oil. So you may ask, so what's wrong with that? Well, sebum is very good. Sebum is moisturizing, making the skin more elastic, which is great. However, sebum is food for many bacteria. So whenever there is a sebum, that means that there is a fertile ground for diseases. You would like to reduce the shine. Also, if you like to put some makeup, the shine will prevent you. The makeup would not stick, and you will lose it in a short time. So men and women should remove the excess oil. Yes, soap can do it, but the body will secrete additional sebum, and after an hour or two, you will get the shine effect again. So this is one effect. Here is the second case. You see the face full of blemishes, uneven, dull, and even irritated area which are red. Okay, this is a phenomena. Many people suffer from this, and the solution you will see very simple. Here is the third case that you see again blemishes, you see acne, you see inflammation, and overall very tired looking skin, loss of brightness. Okay, these solutions, remember this picture because I will show you these pictures again at the end, and you see what happens after using SalSphere Even Skin and other technologies for 1 week, actually even shorter. You see how this effect can change. And of course, the mature skin is fine lines, large pores, uneven tone. This is the subject for our solution today. And I'm sure if you look around, you will see this phenomena in so many people's face. You go on the marketplace, you will see the same thing. People are not aware that there is a simple solution, and this solution can help them to enhance their confidence, their appearance, and so on. So why do we need to exfoliate in general? Let's understand a little bit the phenomena. So this is a cross-section of the skin. This is the outside, and this is the deep inside of the skin. This is what we call the dermis layer. Here we divide, the cells divide, and they push toward the outside. From time to time, the cells will exfoliate by themselves and separate from the rest of the skin. The exfoliation, the natural exfoliation occurs in this direction to the end. Young people rejuvenate the skin almost every month. So every month, young people, I'm talking teenagers, 20 years old, they have a new face practically in a month. As we get older, the process becomes slower. So what we have is accumulation of older skin. And this older skin is typically darker and not even, okay? And it's full of keratin. Keratin is the protein that makes these cells. These cells look dull. And what we want is to exfoliate, bring it back to the way it used to be when we were in the 20th. So this is the story of exfoliation. It removes the old skin, it opens up the clogged pores, so it's reducing the pores, so it's enhancing the overall smooth appearance. It's reducing fine lines, it reveals a younger and fresher looking skin. It improves the skin structure in general while leaving the skin clean, smooth, and softer, and overall most beautiful. You need to exfoliate in order to reduce the shine, but that's not all. You also need to exfoliate if you want to use other anti-aging ingredients. You need to remove the layer, which is the barrier, in order for all these good materials to penetrate and affect the dermis layer. If you don't exfoliate, materials just stay on the surface and are not able to penetrate. That's why rejuvenation, exfoliation is the basic. Like soap and water, inside the soap, there should be an exfoliating technology. So in the same time that you cleanse the skin, you also help to exfoliate the skin. And now the skin is able to absorb everything from the serum, from toner, and from lotions. And you get results in a faster time. Of course, exfoliation helps you, as I mentioned before, with acne, and helps you to keep the makeup for longer time. So if you put the makeup in the morning, it may stay at least 6 hours. So there are major reasons to exfoliate. I hope you will be able to communicate this benefit with your customers and their customers, so everybody understands how simple it is and how necessary it is to exfoliate the skin. Okay? Now, how do we exfoliate? We have chemical and physical ways. Physical means sponges and so on. We don't recommend this because that can hurt the skin, but chemical is the best way. What chemicals we have to exfoliate the skin and which one we should use? This is the question I put front. So we're familiar with alpha hydroxy acid. Alpha hydroxy acid is when this is the carboxylic group. Alpha, it means that you have a hydroxyl on the first carbon. Beta, the second carbon. Gamma on the third carbon. Third, because 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. This is how it works in the chemistry world. That's called alpha hydroxy acid. Typically, they are natural materials. They have cosmetic function. They are able to reduce scars, to repair uneven hyperpigmentation, enhance the skin texture, firm, and reduce color spots. It's also reducing wrinkles and fine lines. It's already known to be hydrating the skin like lactic acid and so on. So these are the typical benefit of alpha hydroxy acid. The only problem we have with this is that alpha hydroxy acid are very water soluble, which makes them very easy to formulate. You probably noticed this. Very easy to put lactic acid, glycolic acid in your formula, and it's ready to go. The only question is, if this needs to exfoliate the skin, will it penetrate deeper? What do we know about water and water-based material? Can they penetrate the skin? I leave this question. Think about this. Can water penetrate the skin? If you would go to swim, will water from the pool penetrate your skin? You would know, because if it's penetrate, your body will swell. But our body does not swell, which means water cannot penetrate our skin. So these materials, alpha hydroxy acid, are water soluble, easy to use in the formula, but they are not able to penetrate, which means they are not able to give you a deep exfoliation. They are not able to give you deep exfoliation, like lactic acid, from milk, and mandelic from almond, malic from apples, and of course, glycolic acid, which is the smallest one out of all. It's able to penetrate the deepest, but still not deep enough to give you a deep exfoliation. So that's bring us to the next step. What can bring us to a deeper, better exfoliation? And this is the beta hydroxy acid. Beta hydroxy acid, such as salicylic acid. Salicylic acid originally is a natural material. A source is the willow bark. It's a famous wood, a famous tree. And from the bark of this tree, people extract the salicylic acid, and today we have it also synthetically. So this is the molecular structure of salicylic acid, a wonderful material known for over 3,000 years to enhance the appearance of skin. However, there is only one problem. Salicylic acid is not soluble in water at the concentration we need to get efficacy. So you see here, salicylic acid in water, the salicylic acid will precipitate, will form crystals, and it's not a homogeneous product. Therefore, we have a problem, a technical problem. Although it's a very good material, it's known to exfoliate the skin. It's also a good treatment against blemishes and acne. The typical concentration people recommend is anywhere between 0.2 and 10. Of course, some application could use even higher than 10. A benefit of salicylic acid beside this is it is not sensitive to light, to sun. So one can use it for a day application. Let's dip a little bit deeper into salicylic acid. And let me tell you that salicylic acid solubility is about 0.2%. Above 0.2%, you get precipitation. Now, there are several ways that chemists could use to enhance the solubility. One of them is alcohol. We don't recommend to use alcohol on the skin because alcohol is drying, basically killing the skin. But we want to help people, so we cannot suggest to use any type of alcohol. We also cannot use harsh surfactant because they will dry the skin. So we don't want to compromise on the quality of our delivery. There is another way that many people tried, is this to use heat. So what happens if you heat it? You see here the solubility is a function of time, temperature. You see, as you increase the temperature, you increase the solubility. So at 100 degrees C, you can get about 80, almost 80, 70, 80% solubility, which is great. But we cannot use 100 degrees C product on our skin. We have to cool it down. Once we cool it down, we get what you see in the bottom picture. We get back the crystals. So heating is good, but it's not sufficient for what we need because it recrystallizes salicylic acid. So it's not homogeneous. It precipitates, and the top samples will have almost nothing. Everything will be in the bottom. And if it's crystal, it's not effective. The only thing that's effective is the acid soluble. So after you find a way to solubilize it, and we will show you how to solubilize it, the other issue is, of course, the irritation. Because the pKa, the solubility pH, is 3. 3 can guarantee you one thing, irritation. So you can try in the lab to titrate with NaOH. So look what's happened if you titrate. Yes, you can convert the hydroxyl, the carboxyl to a sodium, and then put some more. So you have sodium salt, sodium salicylate. Sodium salicylate is not effective. The only thing that's effective on your skin is the salicylic acid. The acid is the form that has the efficacy. So by titrating, you solve a little bit the problem of the pH, but there is no efficacy. You're practically wasting the material. So let's summarize. We have two major issues. One is how to make a simple product, how to formulate easily without the problem of pH, solubility, and so on. And then how to release it in a way that doesn't irritate and doesn't dry the skin. These are the two challenges that we'll try to address right now. So the solution that we are offering is a technology, time-release technology, based on sub-micron micro-encapsulation. And this is an example of one of our technologies with salicylic acid. It's not the only one, there are many, but this is the most common one, the most effective one, and the most cost-effective one. So it's a sphere which based on a core and a shell. This typically for all our system. The core is hydrophobic, and there is a logic to this building. Why it's hydrophobic? Because salicylic acid is easily soluble in oil, but not in water. Okay, then there is a shell. The shell enables the hydrophobic. When I say hydrophobic, I mean practically it's a blend of waxes. So the hydrophilic shell enables to suspend the waxes, the lipids, without making them agglomerate. So this is a special shell that keeps them isolated as such. And then inside we have both chemical and biological exfoliating agents. So chemical, we have the salicylic acid in the acid form, and then we have some exfoliating enzymes. This together makes it a very good product for consumer with sensitive skin. So the core is allowing to slowly release the salicylic acid. So not all salicylic acid is in your face at once. Because if it's all at once, then you will have dryness. But if it's released slowly, and you will see in a moment, you release it slowly, then the skin is able to buffer the acid, and you can get the benefit over time. So this is the basic structure of SalSphere Even Skin, and its particle is about 0.1 to 0.3 in diameter. And when you look at the raw material, you will see that the raw material has a golden, clear format, which is great because It's soluble. You see there is no crystals. It's highly loaded with salicylic acid, 15 or 20% salicylic acid. And then when you dilute it in the finished product to effective level of, let's say, 2%, it still is clear. So you can use this technology to make clear facial wash, clear shampoo anti-dandruff. You can make clear serum. You can make toners. You can make many products that are clear. And this is all compatible with water without any issues of the thickener formulation. So if we want to summarize why to use SalSphere Even Skin, here is the reason. Number one, it's easy to formulate with. There is no crystal, there is no issue of pH, it's all encapsulated. Number two, it has a special benefit of adhesion. Remember the fat? What is the whole idea of the fat? The fat can stick to skin like dirt. We take the same concept of dirt and we use it with salicylic acid. So here you see the skin is green and all the red area is where the SalSphere Even Skin adheres. See, this is the structure. So this is a special microscopic picture of a piece of skin treated with SalSphere Even Skin. It adheres. Why it's so important? Because once it adheres, it can slowly release. And that's the whole idea, to release the acid, but not expose all the acid at once onto the skin. So this is the technology that we are offering here. And of course, once you have a time release, it will take a little bit of time until everything will be released. It will significantly reduce the irritation and you will see a significant improvement in the appearance of the skin. So these are the simple reasons of SalSphere Even Skin. We tested it. I will not go into the details of the test because I talked about this in a separate webinar, but we know that the pH is within the friendly range. You see about 4.5, 4.6 up to 5.5. This is the range of the delivery of salicylic acid compared to if you use any kind of salicylic acid in a product. It's typically much lower, and that's why people feel it's drying the skin. We know it's exfoliating. We tested the exfoliation, and we know that SalSphere gives significantly higher exfoliation compared to the free salicylic acid. For a simple reason, when you use free, most of it is a salt, number one, and then number two, it all will be washed off very easily, compared to this technology that's actually releasing the acid form and it's stuck to the skin, stay on the skin and slowly release. Here you see from a leave-on product, you see the exfoliation is about 60%, and when you use the technology, it's close to 75%, significantly higher efficacy in terms of exfoliation. And how do you see it on the skin? You see the skin is smoother. You see there is no blemish, reduce the blemish, reduce the shine, as you can see in this picture. So it's very much reflecting what we saw for many years now with selling, producing this product with salicylic acid in a delivery system. So it's not only we, Salvona, or our partners, but many of our customers are using salicylic acid-based delivery system like Avino and other companies in the US that are using different systems with beta-hydroxy acid, salicylic acid, in order to enhance the appearance of the skin. So there is great credibility to the concept and the materials. Now I want to take you to answer the question, okay, how to use it? Hopefully you are convinced that there is a value in using this. I will show you a few formulas from our lab, and you see how we suggest to use it. The first one will be a facial wash. This is a basic product. It's very not expensive to make, and it's very effective because you can see the results in a day or two. What's interesting in this product, we combine it with a sensory marker. Sensory marker means it's a technology that gives you the sensory benefits. You feel that it works. you feel that it's fresh. The technology that we use is called hydrosol cool. It's giving you a cooling, tingling effect, but has no menthol. So no problem to use it on the face. It gives you a nice, refreshing solution. The platform itself can be used for multiple claims, from anti-blemish, brightening of the skin, everything to do with skin toning, skin smoothing, scalp treatment, so hair care, as well as foot care to exfoliate the soul. So there are multiple purposes for this technology. I'll show you briefly how it works, how to formulate with this. So this is the formula. You see about 60% is water, about 20% is glycerin. Our star technology, SalSphere Even Skin, is about 3.33%. So this gives you a product that's good for cosmetic claim. It is not sufficient, at least not in the US, for an anti-acne claim. For anti-acne, you need to use a minimum of 0.5% salicylic acid. In addition to this, we have hydrosol Salcool at 1%. So you see this product is so potent. At 1%, you get the cooling, fresh sensation without irritation and without issues. 7 steps to make this product. This is how easy it is. You warm up a bucket of water, you add your glycerin, then you add the thickener, which is hydroxypropyl cellulose, then you add your cleansing surfactant, then you add your foaming booster, betaine, then you add your exfoliating. Everything is at room temperature, no need to heat it up. So you add SalSphere Even Skin. The last step is hydrosol cool. 7 is the preservative. That's it. You see how simple it is to use it, simple to produce it, and you can get a good price for this. Now we go to the lab and you'll see how actually to make it and what is the process.
First, the glycerin is added to water.
This is brine.
Next, we add the Klucel EF very slowly to the water and glycerin mixture. If you wish, you may heat this to aid in solubilization.
It's a little bit too long, but we will shorten whenever it's possible.
Once all the Klucel EF has been added, mix until homogeneous. Now that our water phase is homogeneous, we will allow it to cool down to room temperature. Once the water phase is cooled to room temperature, the surfactant phase may be added. First, we will add the Protolan AG95C. This is sodium cocoyl glutamate. This is our cleansing surfactant. Next, the amphotensid B5, which is cocamidopropyl betaine, will be added. This is our foaming surfactant. Now our first technology, SalSphere Even Skin, will be added. This is our encapsulated salicylic acid and will provide exfoliating power to this wash. Next, our second technology, hydrosalsalicyl, will be added to the formulation. This will provide a sensory benefit in the form of a cooling effect on the skin. And finally, our preservative, La Natural Ultra 3, is added to the formulation.
That's it. That's practically all the formula.
Now we allow it to mix until homogeneous, and we have our SalSphere Even Skin face wash.
See how simple it is, and you can do yourself. The product is coming out clear. You can use different type of forms. What's interesting in this product is you can use it for facial, no problem. It's ideal. You can use it for scalp. You can use it for foot spa. And all that it does is give you a nice cleaning and smoothing effect. So we really recommend to use this technology together as is. Okay, you can have different claims from dry skin relief, cleansing, invigorating mostly because of the technologies that we use, like Sarcool, anti-blemish, of course, complexation, reflection. So this is ideal solution. Now I want to show you how to use it in anti-blemish serum. This serum is very interesting. It's very light product. You typically use a serum after you wash, after cleansing. The formula is straightforward. You see most of the formula, 77% is water. The technologies that we use are SalSphere Even Skin, 1.6%. In serum, we use less. We don't need to use a lot. And Sal Color Green is the second technology that is made out of beads, very nice green beads. Okay, they're all natural, they're all biodegradable, that when you rub them on the skin, they just disappear without leaving any residue. We recommend to add, you can add to this, if it's an exclusive serum, you can add Hydrosal Youth, which is an encapsulated hyaluronic acid. You can use Salcool for the cooling. You can add natural anti-aging, which is an encapsulated form of polyphenols, all natural, to reduce fine lines and brighten the skin with SalSphere Light. Formulation, 6 steps. Okay, water with carbomel, with the glycerin, then PEG with hydrogenated castor oil and SalSphere Even Skin, and triethanolamine to balance the pH, and add hexadiol, which serve also as a preservative, and at the end you add the product. Here you see it's in a fast motion, how first of all the carbomer is added. So you see that this technology is compatible with carbomer. So I think this is the most commonly used thickener, and one can easily use. Serogel 200 is a thickener, but you can use any kind of thickener that you have access to. You just add it gradually and it will disperse and give the thickening effect to the product. Here we added with PEG, but you don't have to use it. You can add it directly. It's liquid. It will easily suspend. There is no issue of crystalline formation over the process. Of course, at the end, you balance the pH, you let it mix, and in a few minutes after it's mixed together, it becomes homogeneous, and it also became clear. When it's clear, at that point, you incorporate sal color beads. These are dry beads in a color green. You can get them in multiple colors, and they're used to add a visual effect. There is no effectiveness to the green, but it's used as a signature to many products, and you can get it. This is the form that you get it at the end. You can package it so it looks like this. You will see a combination of green beads and black beads, but you can use 1, 2, or combine it with other color. The serum, this is a typical serum. It's very light, and you can add the claims of antioxidant, brightening, and skin repair. So this is the visual effect that adds to the salicylic acid exfoliation effect. You see, the exfoliation is not something that people can see. The beads of SalSphere is not something people can see. They're too small to see with the naked eye. You need a scanning electron microscope. So to convey that you're using micro-encapsulation in this product, we recommend to use SalColor. These SalColor are a very good solution. Now look at the effect on the ladies that were treated. This is the before and this is the after. You see some of the sebum and the shyness is still there. This is the nature of the skin. You cannot change it, but you can help with this. Overall, the skin become brighter and smoother. You see the second case, even more pronounced effect. You see how the blemishes, the acne, smooth, and the skin look much more toned as before. And here is the third case. You see after 30 days of using, you see the major benefit onto the skin. So you definitely see that the product I'm talking about are working, they are effective, and mostly they are cost effective. I started by talking about alpha and beta. So I want to finish my presentation with also alpha and beta. So when to use alpha, when to use beta. We have encapsulated form of alpha and beta. And this is the rules. These are the rules of the game, right? So glycolic acid is only good for surface exfoliation, really the 1, 2, 3 layers. It increases hydration, and it is a concern when you use it in the sun. So you are not supposed to use a day care with glycolic acid. Okay, and it's a very, it's still a very potent exfoliator. However, if you look at the salicylic acid technology, excuse me, I have some issues with the system that go to wherever they want. Okay, salicylic acid, it is useful, much more potent for consumer with oily skin, skin that is acne prone. Oily skin, when you have a patient with oily skin, you would like to recommend salicylic acid. It's very good for people that are sensitive to alpha hydroxy acid. They cannot sometimes tolerate it. It becomes irritated skin. So this is a much milder chemical. It's very good to reduce acne spots, and this is SalSphere Even Skin. You see, for alpha hydroxy acid, we have a technology that's called Clear Skin. Clear Skin is a combination of both alpha and beta. Very recommended because it's monitoring, modulating the pH, and it's giving you the benefits of both alpha and beta in one. But there is not a high level of beta. So if somebody has an acne prone, this would be the recommendation. At least certain times whenever the pimple shows up. But if it's a other kind of skin without acne prone or more mature skin, then the clear skin would be the best. To summarize our short broadcast today, we presented exfoliation. You see, exfoliation is a very important, very critical step when you do skincare, very critical. And SalSphere Even Skin is the technology that came up to solve the issue of formulation. And every time I meet with formulators, I ask them, do you have any problem with formulating with salicylic acid? Of course there is, but you know, people say, oh, no problem, I solved it. I use alcohol. Okay, well, you cannot use alcohol to dry the skin if you want to help it to rejuvenate the skin. So alcohol is not a good solution for anything unless you want to kill bacteria or you want to kill a virus. Then use alcohol. Otherwise, for long term, alcohol is not good for your skin. So this technology can be used localized for spot treatment and general as well. What's interesting in this SalSphere, you can use it in a wash, serum, and so on. Be aware that there are multiple forms of encapsulated salicylic acid. There is also hydrosal X4 and severe acne relief and so on that we can talk later on. I know that you are in South Africa. It looks like it's far away, but it's actually not at all. We are all in the same village. You can just turn on the computer or the phone and you can enjoy the webinars that we are doing on every Thursday, sometimes Tuesday. We do webinars, global webinar, which we announce on YouTube and in our mailing system. Our next webinar will be on July 9 at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for you, it will be sometimes afternoon. And we will talk about anti-acne technologies. You should tune up so you learn what else, what new things you can offer to your customers and in terms of anti-acne technologies. For us, anti-acne is a regulated area and anti-blemish is less regulated, it's cosmetics. The following week, we'll talk about moisturizing technologies. This is good for everyone to understand how to moisturize the skin, what technologies are available for you. And this webinar kind of meetings would be the best way you can get the news on spot, fast, at the same time that the rest of the world is getting. So you shouldn't feel like you're isolated over there. Our information is available to you online. So you can tap into salvona.com. You can see all the product that we offer. You can order product either online or through your local distributor. Local distributor should have a stock of the product and you can get it from them with further information. In the website, you can also see and visit previous webinars, which I really recommend you to do. Maybe you listen to this twice because many things could be sneaking out. So webinars out there, all the regulatory technical parts out there. If you don't find something, you can always go into contact. And what's interesting about the contact is you can actually contact and schedule a meeting with me on Zoom. You see my calendar, and whenever I have free time, you can invite yourself to talk and meet. So you can also contact us from the website, on the phone. We have 24/7 connection with the phone. I give you also my personal cell phone, which you can connect with me either by phone, but typically I don't pick up numbers that I'm not familiar with. But you can use WeChat, WhatsApp, Viber, Line, and Telegram, and also follow us on LinkedIn and Facebook. This is where we announce. Now, I give a few minutes for you to ask me questions. If you have, please use the chat or the question and answers. And if you have any comments, if not, you are invited to connect with me online, anywhere online, in any one of the methods I showed you, and to keep in touch so you can get the most advanced technologies immediately. You can use them immediately, and you can give a better service to everybody in this world.